Jai Gurudev children, how are you all? Doing good? Enjoyed celebrating Dasara festival? Yes, and I hope you have all prepared for the revision. Yes? Okay, now come on, let's revise the topics for the long assessment. Plants. We know that plants make our environment cool, happy, and beautiful, right? Yes, and they also help us in many ways. And plants are of different shapes and sizes. Very good. So now come on, let's revise the lesson plants around us. Different types of plants. First one, herbs. Herbs are very small plants and they have soft, green and delicate stem. For example, coriander, mint, grass, wheat, etc. Next, shrubs. Shrubs are bushy plants and they are neither too big nor too small, and they have thin woody stem. For example, rose plant, hibiscus plant and jasmine plant, etc. Next, trees. Trees are very big, tall and strong plants. They have hard, thick, brown stem and it has a special name called trunk, and they have many branches and leaves. For example, neem tree, banyan tree, coconut tree, mango tree, etc. Next, climbers. Climbers have weak stem and they cannot stand on their own. So they need help and they take the support of stick, walls or other plants. For example, money plant, bean plant, grapevine, etc. Next, creepers. Creepers also have weak stem and they cannot stand at all and they spread on the ground. For example, watermelon plant, pumpkin plant, etc. Next, thorny plants. Plants that have thorns. They are called as thorny plants. For example, cactus. Next, aquatic plants. Plants that grow in water. They are called as aquatic plants. For example, lotus, water lily, etc. Next, children, how do plants grow? Yes, plants grow from seeds. This process of the growth of a seed into a plant is called germination. Next, parts of the plant. Children, which part grows under the ground? Yes, it is roots. Roots are the important and underground part of a plant which holds the plant very tightly in the soil, and they take water and all the good things from the soil. Children, which part is this? Yes, it's a stem. The stem is the part of the plant which is found above the ground. A stem is the support system of the plant which helps the plant to stand straight, and it takes water and all the good things from the roots and sends it to all the parts of the plant. Next, what is this, children? What do we call this as? Yes, it is leaf. Leaves are the most important part of a plant, and green leaves prepare food for the plants. So they are called as the kitchen of the plants. Next, what is this, children? Yes, it's a flower. Flowers are the most beautiful and colorful part of a plant, and they also produce fruits. Very good. Now, children, the part which grows above the ground is called as shoot. The parts which grow above the ground is called as shoot. The parts which grow below the ground, it is called as root. So shoot and root are the two main parts of the plant. All living things, animals, birds, insects, and even we humans need food, right? Yes, so we all eat food every day. Children, just imagine a day without eating any food. How do you feel? Good? No? But why? Yes, you're right. We cannot even imagine, right? Yes, and it is very difficult for us to stay without food. But why do we need food, children? Why? Now come on, let's revise the lesson food and fruits and vegetables. Children, why do we need food? Yes, food helps us to grow, and food gives us energy to work and play, and food keeps us healthy. Very good, children. So all living things need food, and without food we cannot survive. Children, how many times do we eat in a day? Yes, 3 or 4 times in a day, right? Yes, the food which is eaten in the morning is called as breakfast. Very good. And the food which is eaten in the afternoon is called as lunch. And the food eaten at night, it is called as, yes, dinner. Very good, children. And we also eat the fourth time, right? When is it, children? Yes, evening. And it is called as snack. Very good, children. Now, where do we get food from, children? Yes, plants and animals. So we get food from plants and animals. Children, who takes care of plants and animals? Yes, farmers. Farmers are the one who takes care of plants and animals and also provide us all the food that we eat. So we should never waste food. Very good, children. And we should always prefer eating healthy food. And we should always say no to junk food. Very good, children. And we should also drink lots of water and always prefer anything that is natural and fresh. That will keep us healthy and beautiful. And we also know that there are different varieties of fruits and vegetables. Children, fruits have seeds inside them. Very good. Some fruits as one seed. For example, mango. Whereas some fruits will have more than one seed. For example, papaya. And some fruits can be eaten with the peel. For example, grapes. And some fruits should be eaten without the peel. Example, banana. Very good, children. And there are different varieties of vegetables. And vegetables will not have seeds inside them. And some vegetables can be eaten raw, uncooked. For example, carrot. And some vegetables should be cooked before eating. Example, brinjal. Not only eating healthy food, there are few things which we need to follow before and after eating and also while having food too. Children, can you tell me what are those which we need to follow? Yes, you are right. We should always wash our hands before and after eating. We must always pray before eating. And we should be thankful for the food we get. And we must also pray that all living things should have enough food. And we should have our food at fixed times every day. Right, children? Yes. Breakfast at morning, lunch afternoon, dinner at night. Very good. And we must eat lots of fruits and vegetables. But before eating fruits and vegetables, what should we do, children? Yes, you're right. We need to wash fruits and vegetables with clean water, right? Yes, very good. And we should always prefer drinking milk, buttermilk and fruit juices. But why, children? Yes, you're right. Anything that is natural and fresh keeps us healthy. And we must drink lots of water because all these will keep us healthy and beautiful. Animals. Animals are living things which can move. Very good. And they are found all over the world, right? Yes, and there are different varieties. And they also help us in many ways. So come on, now let's revise the lesson animals. Types of animals. Animals that live in our homes with us are called pet animals. We play with them and take care of them, right? For example, dog, cat, fish, parrot, etc. Animals that are helpful to us are called domestic animals. For example, cow, sheep, camel, ox, etc. Next, animals that live in the forest are called wild animals. For example, lion, tiger, elephant, giraffe, etc. Next, animals with 6 legs are called insects. Very good. For example, cockroach, honeybee, housefly, etc. Children, how do animals move? Yes, some animals take the help of their legs to move, and they move in different ways. Like some animals walk, run, hop, etc. Some animals use their wings to fly and move from one place to another, like birds. Some animals use their body to move from one place to another. For example, snakes, earthworms, etc. And some animals swim in water to move from one place to another, like fishes. So we understood how animals move, right? And they move around in many different ways. But children, why do animals move? Yes, they move from one place to another in search of food, water, and shelter, and also to protect themselves from their enemies and bad weather. So they move from one place to another. Children, we know that pet animals live with us and we take care of them, right? But all the animals cannot be pet animals. Only few animals we consider them as pets, right? So what about the other animals? Where do they live? Yes, in the forest. Children, how do they take care of themselves in the forest? How do they protect themselves from the bad weather and from their enemies? Yes, some animals build their own houses to protect themselves from the bad weather and also from their enemies. And the houses that are built by animals for them to live, such houses are called as natural or self-made homes. Like for example, birds nest, honeybee beehive, and the houses that are built by human beings for animals to live, such houses are called as man-made homes. Like for example, dog kennel, fish aquarium. And we also know that different animals eat different kinds of food, right? Some animals eat only the plants, like deer, goat, cow, elephant, giraffe, etc. Such animals are called as herbivorous animals. And some animals eat only the flesh of the other animals, like tiger, lion, leopard, eagle, etc. Such animals are called as carnivorous animals. And some animals eat both plant and flesh of the other animals. For example, bear, cat, dog, crow, etc. So such animals are called as omnivorous animals. All living things need air to live. We breathe in air, right? Yes, and we cannot survive without air. So, air is a very important gift of nature. But, children, where is air? I cannot see it. Can anyone of you see it? No? Yes, you're right. It cannot be seen and it can only be felt. Very good. And we also did few experiments, right? Yes. Now, what did we learn from the first experiment, children? What happened when we pricked one of the balloons with a pin? What happened, children? Yes, the air inside it escapes out of it, right? And it becomes empty and lighter. Whereas the other balloon, which is still filled with air, becomes heavier than the empty balloon. Yes, so the stick and the balloon which is filled with air goes down. This shows that air has weight. Very good. Now, what did we learn from the second experiment? Yes, even after keeping these balloons in this box, there is still space left in this box, right? Yes. Now, what happened after blowing the balloons? Yes, the balloons has occupied the whole space, the complete space in this box, right? Yes. Now, what did we learn from this experiment? Yes, very good. This activity shows that air occupies space. Very good. Now, what did we learn from the third experiment, children? Yes. What happened when one of the candle was covered with a glass, children? Yes, the flame in the covered candle goes off, right? But why? Yes, because there was no air inside the glass. And a thing can keep burning only when it gets air. So thus air is needed for burning. Very good. Next, uses of air. We use air for different purposes, right? Yes, air is needed for breathing. All living things need air for breathing, right, children? Yes. Air is needed for burning. Very good. And air helps us to fly things in the sky. With the help of air, we are able to fly kites, fly hot air balloons, parachutes, etc. And air helps in drying clothes. Moving air helps us to dry clothes, right? Yes. And some of the things like aeroplanes, sailboat, helicopters move from one place to another with the help of air. So air is also used for transportation purposes. And we also use air. With the help of air, we can play few musical instruments like trumpet, flute, mouth organ, etc. Children, did you see how important air is? Yes, we use air for different purposes, right? All living things need air for breathing, and without air, we cannot survive. Yes, not only eating healthy foods, we should also breathe in clean and fresh air to be healthy, right? But the smoke which is released by burning crackers and the smoke from vehicles, factories mixes with air and makes the air dirty. Yes. Now, what happens when we breathe in dirty air, children? Yes, we fall sick. So, we should always breathe in fresh and clean air to be healthy, right? But what can we do to keep the air clean, children? Think, children. Yes, trees and plants keep the air clean and fresh. So, we should plant more and more trees around our homes, in parks, and on the roadside. Houses. Now let's revise the lesson houses. House is a place where we live, right, children? Yes, and the house in which we live is called our home, and we live with our families in our homes, right? Yes, a house gives us all the comfort and happiness. But why do we need a house, children? Why, children? Yes, you're right. A house keeps us safe and it protects us from heat of the sun, wind, rain, cold, animals, and also from the other dangers. Right? Yes, house is the safest place where we can live happily and we can take care of ourselves. Right, children? Yes. Children, now where do we receive our guests in our house, children? Yes, in the living room, right? Yes, which is also called as drawing room. Now, where do our Amma cooks food, children? Yes, in the kitchen. And where do we sleep and take rest? Children? Yes, in the bedroom. Now, where do we take shower, children? Yes, in the bathroom. And we all sit together to have food, right? Now, where do we sit together to eat? Yes, in the dining room. Very good. And there are two types of houses, right? Which are they, children? Yes, kacha house and pakka house. And the houses made of mud, leaves, straw, and sticks. Such houses are called as kacha house, and they are also known as Temporary house. Very good. And the house is made of cement, bricks, wood, and iron. What do we call such houses as, children? Yes, pakka house. And they're also known as permanent house. Very good. Now, what about these houses, children? Tent, caravan, and houseboat. They are all, yes, very good, temporary houses. But why, children? Why are they called as temporary houses? Why? Yes, you're right. These houses are not fixed to one place, right? And they can move from one place to another. And temporary houses get damaged easily. Very good, children. Now, what about this house, children? Is it temporary house or permanent house? Think, children. Yes, it is permanent house. Very good. Now, why is it called permanent house? Why, children? Think, children. Why is it called? Yes, you're right. Because these houses last for many years, right? And they remain fixed to one place. And they are built using bricks, stones, iron rods, and cement, and they are very strong. Yes, very good, children. Children, now we revised all the lessons, right? Yes, so now it's time for quiz. Now I will be asking you a few questions and you will have to answer it. And if you answer it correctly, you will get 1 point for each questions. So now let's see who scores the highest. Come on, let's begin. Quiz time. First question. Tall and strong plants are called dash. And the options given: climbers, trees. Children, what do we call tall and strong plants as? Yes, you're right. It is trees. Very good. Second question. A room in a house where we cook food is called a dash. Options: bathroom, kitchen. Where do we cook food, children? Yes, very good. In the kitchen, right? Yes. Third question. A meal eaten in the morning is called, options: lunch, breakfast. Yes, very good. It is breakfast. Fourth question. I am very naughty. I jump from tree to tree eating bananas. Who am I? Options: monkey, elephant. Think, children. I am very naughty. I jump from tree to tree eating bananas. Who am I? Yes, very good. It is monkey. Monkeys love eating bananas, right? Yes. Fifth question. A house protects us from rain and cold. Is it true or false, children? A house protects us from rain and cold. True or false? Yes, very good. It is true. Not only from rain and cold, protects us from many other things, right? Yes, very good. Next question. Animals with 6 legs are called, what do we call them? Think, children. Animals with 6 legs. Yes, very good. It is insects. Next, seventh question. Circle the animals that help us. And the options are cow, monkey, donkey, horse, fox, camel. Think, children. Now we need to circle the animals that help us. Children, do cow help us? Yes. But how? How do they help us? Yes, you're right. They give us milk. Very good. Now what about monkey? Do they also help us? No, very good. Now what about donkey, children? How do they help us? Yes. How, children? Yes, they carry heavy loads, right? By carrying heavy loads from one place to another, they help us. Now, what about horse? Do they also help us? Yes, very good. But how? Yes, they are used for riding and also for transportation purposes, right? Yes, and even they carry heavy loads, like from one place to another. Yes. Now, what about fox? Do they help us? No, very good. Now, what about camel, children? Do they help us? Yes, but how? Yes, you're right. Even they are also used for transportation purposes and also for carrying loads, right? Yes, very good. Next, eighth question. Two things that we find in our kitchen. Children, now we have to name two things that we find in our kitchen. Think, children. Yes, spoons, plates, etc. Next, ninth question. Name two animals that have two legs. Children, now we have to name two animals that have two legs. Think, children. Yes, pigeon. Next, crow, parrot, anything, right? Yes, etc. Next, 10th question. We make paneer from, and the options are milk, fruit. Children, how do we make paneer? Do we use fruit to make paneer or milk? Yes, you're right. We make paneer using milk, right? Very good. Next, 11th question. My name and my color are the same. Who am I? Think, children. My name and my color are the same. Who am I? And it's a fruit, children. Think. Yes, very good. It is orange. Next, 12th question. Plants that live for a very short period of time, and they are called as options, shrubs or herbs. They live for a very short period of time, children. Yes, you're right. They are herbs. Next, 13th question. Circle the odd one. A. Cement, wood, leaves, bricks. Children, now tell me which is the odd one here. Cement, wood, leaves, bricks. Yes, you're right. It is leaves. Very good. Next, 14th question. You can fly this only when there is wind. Think, children. You can fly this only when there is wind. Yes, you're right. This kite. Very good. Now, last question. Give two examples. A. Animal source. Children, now you have to name two food items that we get from animals. Give two examples, children. Yes. Milk, egg. Very good. B. Two things that need air to move. Two things that need air to move, children. Yes, very good. Hot air balloon. Next, aeroplane. Very good, children. All the best, children. Thank you. Jai Gurudev.